Welcome to JasonWhiskyWise. My name is Jason. Welcome to this whiskey review where today we're going to be concluding my mini GlenAllachie series where we're going to be reviewing the GlenAllachie 25-year-old. So I want to say a massive thank you to a gentleman known as Steve Rush as he included me in this little tweet tasting where we get to talk about the new GlenAllachie products and this being the top of the range from their core expressions. So the GlenAllachie 25, it's a 25-year-old whiskey. It's bottled at a slightly higher ABV than the 12 and the 18, which is at 48%. Actually, if you guys have missed any of my videos into the GlenAllachies, I'll leave it links here. But a lot of this stuff, if you're new to hearing the name, a lot of the stuff is used in blends. So you'll see it in Chivas, in Ballantines. Now, the actual cask selection for this one is American Oak, Pedro Jimenez Sherry cask, and Oloroso Sherry. The actual distillery itself is the GlenAllachie Distillery. They are pretty much located in Speyside, Scotland, and they are pretty much pricing this new bottle over here at around about £229. Now, in terms of exclusivity, you'd think, is it exclusive? No, it's not. It's part of their core range, so they will keep this one going. And in terms of any caramel colour, none has been added, as the person who's taken over the helm of the GlenAllachie Distillery, Billy Walker, has stated there'll be no colour added to the whiskey, as it'll all be non-chill filtered and natural colour. So without further ado, let's jump into the tasting notes, because I'm sure you guys want to hear about that. Into the nose. So to start things for the aroma on the GlenAllachie 25, I'm going to start off by saying, give this one a little bit of time. I've given it 10 minutes so far, and just let it breathe in the glass, because this is where you're going to really start to experience those 25 years on this whiskey. So starting things off, it's got that nice orange blossom aroma, and it's not like a very strong citrus. I'm going to say it's like an orange blossom, a bit softer, a bit subdued, giving you that nice little bit of citrus, and it's gentle and it's a bit floral and sweeter. I'm getting nice sun-dried sultanas, juicy and succulent. Muscovado sugar, adding a dimension of sweetness onto this one. Those black, sort of those purpley black wine gums, which just gives you that little bit of sweetness, but at the same time like those blackberries, black currants. Juicy pears, and this is like succulent poached pears. And I haven't used poached pears for some time, but I'm finding this on this whiskey. I'm definitely now getting, giving that a little bit of second there, I'm getting those vitamin C. It's almost like when I was younger, I used to get these little chewy vitamin C tablets growing up. And usually, like one day I took the whole packet and just sort of opened them up, because they could pop them and you just chew them, and then I was like, oh crap, you're only meant to have one. It reminds me of those vitamin C tablets, like when you pop open the seal of those and you can just smell that sweet vitamin C character, but at the same time a little bit of that sort of like jelly aroma. And there is a little bit of this one to me that even gives me that like a little bit what I'd say is like a sweet tobacco. And I want to say a polished oak, but there's almost like a wood varnish character, which you don't really get on older whiskies. I normally get that on really young whiskies or very, very old whiskies, which are very strong oaky character. But this is more like the actual wood varnish. Wow. Let's get into the palate next. Slanger. Now arrival onto the palate. Very rich, full. It's sinking into my taste buds. I'm getting that nice orange peel. It's rich. Fig cakes, date pudding. Whoa, this is like a bit of a pudding / dark fruit thing. Wow. So juicy. It's again, it's making me sort of want to keep going back for a second sip into this one. But a bit of red licorice on this one. A little bit of even salted caramel, adding a very unique twist on this one. It's almost salted, ever so gently. But I don't think the distillery is anywhere near coastal waters. So very interesting to get a little bit of salted caramel character. I'm going to have a second sip. Yeah, from a second sip, I'm getting those salted caramel characters. Very interesting. It then gives you a little bit of this, almost like a caramelized apple with a bit of sweetness, really rounding it at juicy aroma, juicy character, maybe a toffee apple. And then just on the end, I'm getting a nice oily walnut, but it's almost like it's coated in dark chocolate, where you can feel as if you've just taken a bite out of chocolate, and you know when you finished it in your mouth, it's giving me that sort of like a dark chocolatey character, maybe a 78% dark chocolate, not too intense, not too dark. But then that oily, walnutty character still there. Wow. That is really fun for a 25-year-old whiskey. This has been quite impressive so far. Let's get into the finish and we'll come to my conclusions. So to conclude this whiskey, it's got a nice medium long finish. It's got that character of almost like a black licorice now. It's got that little bit of a leathery note. And to me, it's almost like a sort of a coated Brazilian nut, dark chocolate Brazilian nut now, instead of walnuts. And it's got that little bit of that sort of like a tangerine sweetness, giving a medium long finish to this whiskey. It's been actually quite an impressive 25-year-old whiskey, and it's just been a very nice way to end this actual little series into the GlenAllachie. So, time for a rating, which you guys will probably be wanting, and I'm going to give it, I want to say 90, but I'm going to just give it 1 up again. It's impressed me over there, the actual depth, the character, the complexity that this 25-year-old whiskey has. In terms of value for money, because this is something I always go back to, is the quality of the whiskey worth the money you're paying for it? Now, you're getting something that's at 48%, so it's, again, into that higher bracket, which is great. It's not 40%. £229, which, for me, I always say, a 25-year whiskey is in that £250 pounds price bracket. This is just under it, so that's pretty much where it's getting the 91 instead of a 90. And flavor profile wise, you're getting given a lot. You're getting all these different characters, this depth, the complexity. It's something that I feel that they've mastered very well. And I think that's great to see that they've taken care of a 25-year whiskey in their range. I think the 12 does need some help, so to speak. The 18 though, when I'm comparing against the 18, the 12 and the 10 cask strength, 18-year-old's also a very good whiskey. 12 is the one I'd say needs brackets and sort of help. And the 10-year-old is also another good whiskey. So, overall opinion, great depth, complexity, flavor, value for money, doesn't need water, doesn't need time. My personal palate is saying it doesn't need the 2. It's one that you can really just sit there and enjoy and take your time and let it unfold. So, 91 out of 100 on the GlenAllachie 25-year-old. I'm going to share a little bit of Mr. Bananas, but if you guys have enjoyed, drop it a thumbs up. I'm going to leave the subscribe button over here, and also the rest of the GlenAllachie series, the 10, the 12, and the 18 up on screen. This has been me, JasonWhiskyWise, and I'll catch you all for the next video. Slàinte.